Yo, what's up, guys? So my name is Mason. I'm an online business owner dealing in health and wellness, helping people around the world get amazing results. Currently 27, in the best shape of my life, feeling great. And tonight's podcast is going to be talking about the level up, and we have our guest over here.
What's up, guys? Stu me. So yeah, tonight we're basically just going to be speaking about like leveling up, right? Like what does it actually like take to level up? Because I think a lot of people are trying to level up, but a lot of people don't have the information as to what does it actually take, right? And I've always believed it is a rule that success leaves clues, right? So if you can follow certain fundamentals, certain components, right, certain principles, you will get much closer to success than if like you weren't using the principles. I believe with everything, there's always a science, there's always a formula.
Why would you say some people succeed in the journey of leveling up and others fail?
Well, here's the thing, right? Number one, I just think people just don't have the same drive. I think a lot of people are held back by their excuses. You can have two people coming from the same town, very similar situations. The one makes it, the one doesn't. And why is that? I believe it's because the two people have different types of drives. Some people are slaves to their excuses. They slaves to the stories they tell themselves in their minds. This is why I'm not going to make it. Oh, life is so hard on me and whatnot. And then you simply get the person that says, okay, you know what, this is my situation. This is where I come from. But I refuse to let this hold me back. I refuse to be a slave to my excuses. I refuse to be a slave to my environment, right? I mean, no matter what, life is always gonna life, and that's what people don't get. At every single level of life, life is gonna life, right? You might be looking at someone that you're like, oh my God, this person has it great. But that does not mean like they going through a certain level of like challenges or life or whatever. The only difference between us is the story we tell ourselves. Obviously, there will always be advantages, right? Where you come from, maybe you might have certain networks, you might have certain beliefs and stuff, but at the end of the day, there's many people that come from very bad situations that made it out. So I truly believe you just can't have excuses, because once you have excuses, I believe you are pretty much stuffed. Yeah.
I remember, like, in the beginning of my business, guys, I was super terrified of what people would think, right? But the desire to now start leveling up was always there. I just needed certain information, right? So throughout that journey, there's a quote that I heard that said, it has to work or it has to work. So sometimes you'll find two people faced with the same challenge. One gives up, one continues. The one person that continues and figures it out is the person that's thinking it has to work or it has to work. The other one's like, probably work for that guy because that guy's in shape. That guy's, the typical stereotype for success. That person probably has X, Y, Z. But it comes down to fundamentally the drive. When I started, I didn't really understand much about what was going on, but it was the desire to learn. Self-confidence wasn't at the highest, but it was the desire to evolve and work on myself. So the one thing I noticed, especially when I started, bro, I was watching your journey, and I remember you kept telling me about the business for 3 years, and I said, nah. And that was because I couldn't see it for myself. But I watched you go like crazy, but I was like, nah. Even when you told me like one of your checks back in 2019, I was like, that's good for him. But me, I'm gonna go and do this. And then when the desire switched, that's when you now start becoming a student of the game. And that's when I started studying you, Junior, and other people that have gone before and created success for themselves at a young age. So yeah, that's just to add more light or into more detail in terms of what he was talking about, the different principles.
And what was the catalyst for you guys to make you be like, yo, I gotta level up? Where was like the turning point?
Well, with me, you know what it's always been, right? So obviously, I've always wanted certain things for myself, right? I've always wanted to take care of the people I love. I've always wanted to take care of myself. Just growing up, like even when I didn't have the how, I knew that, yo, this is how my life is gonna go, right? Because I wasn't willing to negotiate with the universe or negotiate with people as to what my life was gonna become. So I always knew like I'd always have what I have, I knew I'd always like achieve certain things I've achieved, right? And it was a case of this, right? Like I just had that ambition, because even growing up in the home I grew up in with my dad, right? He always told me that I have to get things myself, right? I came from a pretty dope home, you know, my whole life. Went to St. John's my whole life, from Grey North and everything. So I never had a lack of anything, right? Always abundance. But one thing he always told me was like, yo, you're gonna get this yourself. You're gonna get this yourself. You're gonna get this yourself. You have to get it for yourself. I even remember I was in matric, right? When the M4 was still coming out, the first M4, right? I remember it was on a magazine. And I think it was the orange one, like orangish or goldish. I think the gold one, yeah. It was gold. It wasn't orange, yeah, the gold one. And I remember I sent a picture to my dad, right, of the M4. I say, yo, I need this thing, right? And obviously I'm taking my chances. It's like matric exams are coming up and I know I'm going to ace them. So I'm like, yo. And I'm thinking he's going to reply and say, listen, get those marks and then we're going to get it for you, right? He was like, oh, that's a great car. You're going to get it yourself. And this guy refuses to like give me anything, like everything I have to get myself. So I would always get like ticked off, right? Because I came from an environment where my friends, right, always got given these things and had these things early. Even friends where I knew like we probably like were better off than them, right? We just had more than them, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just, you know, we had more guap than them or whatever. I'm just like, just because of like the parents I had, sometimes I wouldn't even have the things that they had. And I was like, damn, I have to get this thing myself. So the whole time while growing up, I always had this thing inside me that, yo, if I don't get it myself, nobody's gonna get it for me, right? Even when we would go to the club, I remember certain like friends or people around me, they even had like M4s and stuff, you know, and like when they pull out the club, like whang, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I gotta get this. And now that's when the burning desire now gets more intense. I'm like, okay, but how am I gonna get it? When do I wanna get it? I said, I need to get this thing now, right? And that's when now the thing of, let me start putting action. Because I don't have time to wait 10 years for this thing. And then that's when I started asking myself that, okay, so since you want to level up, what is it going to take for you to level up? And number one, I knew that there has to be sacrifices, right? Because we only have a certain amount of time, meaning that the things I'm giving time to that are not helping me level up, I need to cut those. The things that are adding to me leveling up, I need to increase and do more of that, right? And even in general, like, yo, you know, when you live in Joburg, when you live in South Africa, when you live in the world, if you're going to be a certain caliber guy, you need to level up. You need to have certain things, right? You want to date a certain honey. If you want to have a certain type of crib, that's at a certain level. You need to level up. You want to have a certain car, that's at a certain level. You need to level up.
Certain type of friends, certain type of networks.
You want to have certain types of friends, certain type of networks. You need to level up. You want to eat a certain type of food. You need to level up. So leveling up was never an option.
So I've had a lot of people come to me, be like, yo, please mentor me. And I'd ask, what? What are you trying to achieve? Be like, I don't know yet. Or I don't know, but I'd like you to be my mentor. So have you had mentors in your life?
So before you get mentors, right? Remember, you kind of attract what you are. So it's hard to attract a mentor or have someone want to invest their time in you when you yourself are not sure. Because someone that can be a great mentor, whatnot, they probably have their life figured out. So even when they speak to you and you're like, yo, mentor you, they're like, okay, mentor you on what? You're like, I don't know. Automatically, they're like, wasting my time. You're wasting my time, right? So even when you're gonna go to someone and say, mentor me, you need to go there with something. You can't go there with nothing. Yo, change my life. It doesn't work like that. When you pray to God, do you sit in bed at night and keep quiet and just like, you pray about something, right? You say, God, this, right? You can't just, what you doing? I'm praying. What are you praying about? I don't know. It doesn't work like that. So you need to go there with something. So the mentors I found, they already found me doing certain things and whatnot. And they were able to see what I'm doing. And sometimes they would comment and say, yo, you're doing well. Keep it going, you know? Or even when you had certain conversations, maybe at that time they weren't even your mentors, but just speaking to you and then they start giving you advice. And then as it keeps going, those people turn to your mentors because now they keep on giving you advice, keep on giving you advice. Now you're building that relationship where they constantly giving you knowledge, constantly giving you information that's helping you also now make better decisions. That's really what a mentor is. Someone guiding you to make better decisions. But in order for someone to guide you to make decisions, you need to be making decisions. Nobody's going to come to you and say, Mason, go do that, blah, 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 blah. You already need to be having motion. So that's why I say, like, can't expect anyone else to see you or want to spend time with you because you're also taking away from that person.
Sacrifices. So the person asking to be mentored, what are they willing to sacrifice on their part as well? It could be time, but if it's, you can consider it sacrificing, but if you're already being found on your way, like I think about some of the mentors I've had in my life, it all happened naturally. There was one guy, he's actually a really good friend of mine now. I was about 21, he was about 33, right? And I remember I was trading binary, just like playing with it. And I was we first met at the barbershop, and then we bumped into each other at the restaurant. So I was sitting next to him, so he could see what I was doing on my laptop, just flipping. Then he was like, yo, I'm doing the same thing. Come hit it with me. I remember I made him like 7,000 in like 6 minutes, and then he funded that account F, and then we blew like close to 30 grand in like 8 minutes. Then I said, yo, chief. Hadi is like, no, don't worry about it. Just show me what you were doing. Then from there, he'd invite me to like, every time he's chilling, he'd be like, yo, pull up on me. Then we'd see if we can flip. If we don't, we don't. Because there was that age gap. He'd give me some game on like what he was up to, what he was getting into. But always when it came to like opportunities, I was like, I don't want to live the life you live. Like your lifestyle is great, but like some things, they're not for me. So even like within my health business, I remember when you hit me up randomly, you're like, yo, let's go train. Then we just started training and training. But while training, I was just studying this person. Like, first time at your crib, I just watched what you were doing. I was like, what's this guy doing? This guy's making his product. So it was through the doing. Because some people be like, yo, please be my mentor. But then when you look, nothing's happening. There's no motion. Yeah. So I think the biggest role of a mentor is just to add fire and add kind of guidance to what you're already doing rather than you save me.
No, 100%, yeah. So like what Mason said, right? So you and your mentor, you guys kind of find each other. You find each other through action, right? Your mentor finds you and you find them. And at the beginning I said what? I said it's an attraction type of thing, right? So you need to be doing something in order to have a mentor and stuff. But number one, the biggest thing is do something. The mentors will come. Prove to the people that you want to help you that you're worth the help. Because everybody wants a mentor. Everybody wants to level up. But why you? Everybody wants to spend time with that person that's doing well. Right? So I'm here. Let's say I'm doing well. I've got all these millions of people that want me to help them. They need to tell me why them. Why you specifically? Why should I leave everybody else and focus on you? And the best way to show someone is to say, yo, because look what I'm doing right now. I'm worth the time. And that's how I believe like people find mentors and mentors find you. And throughout your life, the more you do, the more you're going to be exposed to. You will have different mentors that will mentor you on different things, in different spaces, at different times, at different journeys of your life. So that's how I believe like the whole mentorship goes.
This spoke about how you were telling him about the business for 2 years. You were consistent.
3 years.
3 years.
Once a year, every year.
What did you see in him that made you consistently still remind him and tell him, try to convince him to get into the business?
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that when you've done something, right, and when you reach a certain level of personal development, you've got a third eye. Like it also has to do with spirituality, right? Once you increase like your spiritual side of yourself, you can kind of like see the unseen, right? So even when someone's just moving, they're doing their thing, you can see that, yo, this person has potential. Like Mason said, like he adapted certain things maybe I was doing, and now it's become a part of him. Before it became a part of him, I already saw it in him, right? So some of the things maybe he's saying it became a part of him, it didn't become a part of him. They just grew. They were always there.
Oh, sick.
They were always there. They didn't come in. They were always there. Now, what did he do? He fed them. He watered these things. He watered these seeds. So sometimes as a mentor, you look for the mindset. You look for the movement in that person. You recognize the little things that, yo, I was also doing that. I was also moving like this, right? It's basically like
You always caught me at groove. Always caught me at groove.
Right? You find diamonds in the chaos. Right? It's mining. You find diamonds in the chaos. But you need to develop that side of you to see talent. It's like A&Rs. It's like talent scouts, right? When you're playing on the field, they can identify certain things maybe you're doing on the field. Even if you're not the best player that day. Sometimes the talent scouts don't find the best player that day. They find the player with potential and say, wait, we know that this was the best, the man of the match, but that's not who we're looking for. We're looking for this person because we can see what they can become, right? So that's basically what it was.
We were all brought up in the church and we were preached the message that be content. And a lot of people would say too, you got the BMW, why do you need another car? You got the house, why do you need two? Do you feel like leveling up means not appreciating where you are and not being satisfied? And how do you get a Christian person to understand the concept of leveling up is not being greedy or money is the root of all evil?
Well, I'm going to stop it by spirituality. I'm not even going to go into Christian and religion. Once we go Christian, we go in religion, right? Spirituality. You said that they said you must be content. Content is different for different type of people, right? It's the same way right now. You can say, yo, Mason, do me, go eat to your heart's desires. Mason might eat 3 eggs and be content. Maybe my content is 5 eggs, right? And also being content, I believe even with spirituality, it's not about necessarily being content. That's not the biggest player. The biggest player is be grateful. What they say is always be grateful. So be happy for where you are right now. Be happy with your wins. But it doesn't say stop after a certain win. They don't say stop. They say be happy, be content. So be cool. Yes, I am cool with where I'm at now, but I am not cool with stopping here.
True. It's like the prayer that I do. So it's a practice of gratitude, but it doesn't mean just because I'm doing a certain thing right now, I'm happy being where I'm at. I am happier where I'm at right now, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop right now. It's just my right now. So practicing that gratitude every day, yo, thank you for waking me up today. Thank you for me being me. Thank you for me having the business that I have. Thank you for me having the relationship that I have right now. But I know a year from now, it could be totally different. But I'm still grateful for everything that I have right now. Roof over my head, everything in total. So the concept of being content, yes, you can sit in your house right now. You just got it today. You can sit in and be like, okay, I'm content today. You wake up a week from now and you're like, actually, I think that house would more suit my personality because you're developing and growing every single day. You're not the same person you were yesterday. Your appetite is not the same. So the same way as when you're putting on size in terms of your bulk, the same way you eat right now is not the same way you're going to have to eat when you put on 10 extra kilos. You have to eat different. So with everything that you experience on a daily basis, you're developing and growing and being exposed to more. So you're happy for where you are right now, but you're exposed to more, which means you want to now try more, which means you'll grind more, you'll have to push more, work on yourself more to become the person to be able to maintain and fit into that new that you have. And then tomorrow's a brand new day. The clock starts over again. So the greatest thing that you could do is see what you can achieve every single day and see what you can fully become every single day. The concept of being content, yeah, I contest that. I agree with Dumi. Gratitude is more the sauce, yeah.
But let me say this, right? Also, content is different for different. What I'm trying to say, content is different for types of people, right? So just you said maybe I got whatever, Mike, I got the B mark and have the RA, blah 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 blah, right? I'm grateful, I am cool, but I'm not content. Because maybe from the beginning, that was never my content from the beginning. That was never my ultimate goal.
Right.
It was one of my goals as I keep going, right? The same way when you play in a soccer match, The aim is to what? To score goals. And after stopping 2 goals, do you stop? No. When you're beating a team 10-0, do you stop? No. It's to play the whole 90 minutes. So it's the same thing with your life. You want to play the whole 90 minutes of your life until the ref blows the whistle, until God blows the whistle. Game up, right? And then I'll even give you examples. So even with me, there's a certain level I wanted to reach in my business, right? And I reached it, I got there. And then there's a time where I was sitting in my house, I was like, okay, I'm here, I've got this. The whip's in the garage, pick up my phone, open the bank account. Damn, that's dope, that's a lot. But I'm like, why am I not content? I'm grateful. God, thank you. Right? The people that have come before me, thank you. Whatever, everybody, thank you. My mentor, thank you. But I'm not fulfilled. And the reason I wasn't fulfilled is this, right? And I learned this 2 years later, right? So it only hit me 2 years later, like why I became stagnant and why I went through a mini depression. I went through a mini depression, right? I don't like using that word depression because it's like, I don't like limiting myself and like giving myself illnesses, right? And it's different for different type of people. For some people, they already feel it. So I don't want to go too much into it because it's different for all of us, right?
Which is sad, good.
But I went into a mini depression. And then only later I figured out the reason I got depressed is that what? I stopped wanting to get more goals. I wanted to reach a certain level. I reached it and it was everything I wanted and beyond. And then I stopped dreaming. I said, hey, I'm fine. When you say you're fine, you know what happens? You sit in your chair and you do this. There's no more growth. And the whole time I've been a person of growth. So only later I said, the reason I got into that depression or whatever is because I stopped wanting to grow, right? When you're born as a human, you grow old. You never stop growing. You grow until what? Until you die. So that's the same with your goals and stuff. So the reason why a lot of people get depressed, the reason why a lot of people get sad, they go morbid and stuff, is because they stop having goals. They stop wanting more. You have to give yourself a reason to wake up. When you wake up, why am I waking up today? If you're waking up today like there's nothing to wake up for, geez, you're gonna be miserable because it's a new day. But like, why am I feeling like this? As opposed to I have goals. I wake up, I'm like, yo, it's that time. It's that time of the day. I gotta go get more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I say, with the content thing, I'm only content when I reach the next goal. So as I reach my goal, I build up my content. Okay, I'm gonna be content here. Get here. Okay, so it's like a game you play with yourself. A game of chasing. Then along the way, as I grow older, with more wisdom, my goals might also change, right? Eventually, maybe I might get to a point where I'm like, okay, you know what? My goals are not maybe like monetary and like physical and material anymore. Maybe I want to build a family. Maybe my goals now is maybe I want to build a family, right? Start building a family, blah, 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 blah. Then eventually maybe I might get that in check. And then I'm like, okay, cool, I've got this family and whatnot. What's the next step? Geez, maybe I need to help other people out there that like don't have what I have. Maybe now you start helping like families outside of your family. Remember, right? In life, I believe true contentment comes when you're always doing stuff outside of yourself, helping other people. So that's what I've always loved about my business, is that I'm constantly helping people. Yo, Mason, let's level up. Yo, blah, blah, let's level up. Even when you're doing this podcast, what's my reason to do this podcast? It's to help other people. Because a lot of people are always asking for help. Like, Dumi, what goes through your mind? What is it? How does this thing work? Why do you stay driven and whatnot? So now as to what is to give back to a lot of to all the people that that look up to me and whatnot. Because the problem I feel is like a lot of people, especially in South Africa, the people that are doing well, the people that kind of like make it and whatnot, they want to do well alone. They want to say, yo, this is me, right? Nobody really wants to give you game and say, yo, this is my mindset as to what I achieved. This is what I did. A, B, C, D. They don't want to look at outside of themselves and give it to the next person. That's why I love the youth so much. I enjoy giving advice to like the younger guys coming behind me, or maybe younger women coming behind me and stuff, right? Because The same way I was once a young cat with dreams, these are also people that are young looking up at me with dreams. So my job is to help them keep on dreaming and to give them the how and to give them the play as much as I can. I'm not trying to be the only guy shining. So when I see people with potential there, I feed into them. I don't let it scare me like, yo, you might end up like doing better than me in life. Now I'm gonna keep quiet. You know, I'm gonna make you my enemy. I hate you because I see you on the come up now. It's to constantly give back. And let me tell you, there's nothing better, right, than helping other people level up and then them leveling up and doing well. That's like the biggest contentment you'll have when you can say, yo, because of me, I was able to help someone get to this level. So it's not even, so the first step is I must get to this level. That's a very dope feeling. But like once you can help other people get to your level, that's like, yo, like you playing life on like a godly level. God is looking down at you. The universe, the creator is looking down at you like, yo, you're making a difference in the world.
And the whole part of you get there first and then help others. That's why I say, like, even with the mentor I had, was like his lifestyle was great, but there's just certain things I didn't want to do myself. Because I was just like, this part is just a bit too taxing for me. And that's why, for me, the business I'm in right now, we're in a similar business, is one thing I love. The more I work on myself and the more I personally grow, I can show the next person who was probably in the same situation as me. I joined out of desperation more than inspiration. He tried to inspire me for like 3 years and I said, nah, it was more desperation. Then through that, I started growing. And even now, like the people on my team, now seeing what they do, taking the little things that I would do and implementing and them growing, it gives you another level of drive because you're like, yo, if I'm giving this person game and I've gotten to this point and they got game and they're moving, let me see how far I can actually take this thing. So see how far I can actually help someone improve their life. So now it gives you also another different type of drive because you're like, you're not just doing it for yourself. You're doing it so you can lay the track, the how on how you got to a certain level. Because when you're a kid, you dream to the highest levels, right? You dream about doing insane things. But as you get older, that dream and that desire diminishes. So now when you are constantly pushing, that's why we always say you have to lead by example. That's one of the biggest things. And giving people game, I think one of the craziest things that we just came up with now is the coldest winter. The starting point of the level up, where it's different components, right? It's your body, your mind. And I remember when you sent me the message, yo, let's have dinner, and we're chopping it up. What went through your mind at that point to be like the starting point to the level up? Because as much as we can give you guys game on leveling up and how you think and stuff like that, giving you guys a set structure on how we are doing it, how we are chasing that next level, leveling up, but also giving it a platform for you guys to get on. Like what went through your mind at that point?
Well, look at this, right? So once again, like I was saying, so this thing's about contentment, right? At the end of the day, it's like we're in a space where the contentment we get is through us achieving and also helping other people achieving. So what went through my mind was, yo, I need to get people on the same thing that I'm on. I need to walk with them. Rather than just give it to them on something, this is what I did, blah, 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 blah. Now grab their hands and like, yo, let's walk this thing together. Because you guys always see me doing it and you're always asking me how. So instead of just giving you the how, let's all get on the field and we do it together. And that's what basically this is about. So let's level up together. And when we level up together, ultimate contentment comes.
Facts.
So that's what it is.
I want to put like a person out there, right, that might be watching this and their scenario and their situation. So when you're leveling up, oftentimes you have to change your environment, right? But imagine there's a 14-year-old kid still dependent on his family and he's like, I can't change my environment, but my mom is toxic. My family is a very toxic place that I'm in and I can't do nothing about it. I'm only 14. What would you say to that individual?
So let me say this, right? You're 14, you're what you feel like is like a toxic environment and whatnot. Based on where you are, you need to do what you can. You always play the cards you're dealt. In life, you can only play the cards you're dealt. But in your environment, there's always a way out. There's always the loopholes and stuff. So because of that question, because you've been speaking to like 1 million people, thousands of people, I can't give you the one right answer, but it's like you need to look around you and identify and have a plan for how you're gonna do it. Access certain information, certain knowledge, and whatnot, and just create a plan of how you're gonna do it. Even me, from young, I always had a plan as to what I was gonna do, right? Maybe even if I didn't like the environment I was in at that time, but because I knew that these are the only cards I could play, I had to play those cards. I'm 14. How much can I do at 14? Am I gonna run away from home? Fine, what are the repercussions with me running away from home, right? What are the repercussions, the pros and cons with me staying, even though sometimes maybe I don't like the situation and whatnot, but let me stay, finish school, and then from there I might have a bit more freedom to maneuver, right? But let me try and learn from the people around me. Let me see what are they doing wrong, you know? Sometimes you're in a toxic situation or whatnot, but sometimes it's not as toxic as you think it is, because sometimes you learn from it. You know what I'm saying? The way you get better, you learn from people. So being around like sometimes like negative people and whatnot, there's so much, sometimes you learn a lot. Like a lot of people that do well in life are people that came from hard situations.
Facts.
You know, your tough environments, tough situations build your strongest people. So when they get out there in the world and it's time to fight, they know how to fight because of the situation they came from. A lot of people that are brought up in like the most cushioned environments and whatnot, when they go out into the real world, they like, WTF, I can't do this. Why is it like this in the real world and stuff? Look at like Bill Gates, Jackie Chan, how they seem like, yo, they told their children like, yo, you're gonna have to get this thing yourself. And then their children are like, yo, WTF and stuff. Jackie Chan's like, yo, I built this life myself. I became this person. You're not just gonna take it. You also have to go build your own. And why is he saying that? Because he understands the importance of building your own and finding your own way instead of just it being giving it to you. He understands the importance of what you need to fight for, whatever you want, right? Because even when you get it, you're still gonna have to fight to keep it. So if you don't learn how to fight, it's gonna go away either way, right? That's why things that are given are hard to keep, because you don't respect them, because you don't work for them. Right? Things that are given are hard to keep, because sometimes you don't understand what it takes to get them. But when you build it yourself, even if you lose it, you can build it again. When you get it yourself, even when you lose it, you can get it again. Why? Because I know how to build it, right? I know how to get it. It's not on me, it's in me. So right, you can take away the outside, the materials and whatnot, but the most important thing is what I have here. It's what I have here. So even those kids, whatever, in that toxic situation, toxic environment, play the cards you are dealt. Try find a way out. Try learn what you can in that environment, right? At the end of the day, we're all gonna get given the cards that we're given, right? There's no one perfect answer, because right now there could be 1,000 kids that are 14 in different types of toxic situations. So what's the one right answer I can give them? There's no one right answer. But what they can do is use the resources that even sometimes little that they might have and whatnot, right? You always do have a way out, and there's always something around you that you can use.
The biggest thing I think comes down to burning desire. Some people may be in a toxic environment, as they say, but like it doesn't make you uncomfortable enough to get out, right? So I remember there was one time I was on my way to varsity, and the thing that I was always listening to like personal development, but at that time I wasn't taking it as personal development. I just needed motivation to go to varsity. I was just like, yo, I don't like going to varsity, so I needed motivation to go there. And I remember listening to this video by Inky Johnson, right? And he said he grew up in a 2-bedroom home, 14 people, I think, sleeping on the floor, right? And his way out was he always knew he wanted to get a bigger house for his family. He was still a kid, I think less than 11 years old. Always knew, I need to get them a bigger house. So he started playing sports, and he would play sports until late at night, go to school, train, the organized training, and then run drills himself until his mom picked him up, like late at night. Then you just go home, sleep. So in every situation, there is an out. But are you uncomfortable enough to look for those ways out, right? So it's similar to like when I started my business. It was an uncomfortable period. I was a student. My mom had just lost her job. I could have just sat and been like, okay, what's gonna happen next month? What are we gonna eat next month? But I was like, yo, I need to find a way out. And luckily the information that was shared with me was, bro, this thing can change your life. Every year, this thing can change your life. Every year, this thing can change your life. And with social media, bro, you have access to so much information and proof. But you have to vet that proof, because some things on social media are some things, right? So when I got to that point, I remember taking a walk. I was like, yo, God, I don't like being broke. It's not nice. I don't think it was broke as being helpless. I was like, yo, this is not dope. And as much as I didn't want to become a part of the business, I was like, this is what I have to do right now. Companies aren't hiring. It's a tough time right now. But this guy's life has gotten better every single year. That's what sparked my interest the most. I said, I feel like I'm just going around in circles. Me. Got started. And it was like a lot of self-work now. So that's why I say, like, no matter what situation you're in, there's always a way, but it has to move you. The situation has to make you uncomfortable. It's like, yo, I don't enjoy this. And somehow, like, solutions come. I didn't know I'd be in the business I'm in right now. But it was just that I need to do something. And then it came. So that is my answer. Like, as long as it moves you, the solutions will come. But if you're someone, because they are complainers, where yes, my situation is toxic, but all they want to do is tell everyone else how toxic their situation is, how they're unhappy with it. Then there are those, like in school, sometimes you find that kid in school, bruh, doesn't talk to anyone, but he's always acing it. Then you hear his story, be like, yo, bruh, I've got this going on. There's 7 people riding on me. And then you're like, damn, I get why you study so hard. I get why you go so hard. But they're not airing it to everyone else. So also that's where, like, I think the development and the personal development comes in, where you're able to now discern who really wants to get out of it, or who just wants to let everyone know that they're currently in it and it's there, like that's their source.
Some people don't want to get out of these situations as much as they say. That's one thing I've realized about life. Everybody says they want to do well until you tell them, right, cool, here's the grind, let's grind. Then you see people like, okay, wait, this is how much grind it takes.
This is hot.
Never mind. Actually, I don't want to do well. Until they see the grind it takes, then you will see if people really want to do as well as they say. Everybody talks. There's only a few doers, right? Everybody makes noise. There's only a few people making noise through their actions. Everybody speaks. All right, let's see the actions. You know what I'm saying? So some people are really fine in their situations. Those that aren't fine in their situations, they will show you through action that they're not fine in their situations.
I've heard some guys say, yo, Toby, I've done it. I've tried for 2 years. I separated from everyone, separated from friends. I was reading the Bible, waking up 5 a.m. every day, and it still didn't happen for me. They feel like success needs to be a date, that if you work for 30 days, at the end of the 30 days, you will achieve that success. So he was saying to me that it's so uncertain that do you believe someone can work hard, do everything you did for the 5 years or 10 years that you did it, and it still might not get your results?
Well, let me say this, right? When I was doing it, I didn't put a time on it. I didn't say, because here's the problem, right? Imagine I said, okay, if this thing doesn't work after 16 months, I'm done. Where would I be? Who knows when it's coming for you? You don't know when it's coming for you.
So why did it work for you after 16 months and someone else that did exactly what?
I wasn't willing to stop. Is that I didn't give myself a timer.
It has to work.
If it didn't work after 16 months, I still would have been trying to make it work. The reason it doesn't work for some people, they put a certain time to it. And also, we can both say, yo, we're both gonna grind for this thing for 16 months. But just because we're giving ourselves 16 months, it doesn't mean working at the same intensity. A lot of people say, I tried everything. No, you didn't. If you tried everything, you would have got it right. You haven't tried everything. You haven't tried everything. Go ask them what they tried. Ask them what they've tried, and then you'll see they didn't try everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's different intensities. We all work it in different intensities. You always think you're working hard until the next person tells you how hard they're working. Then you're like, oh, damn, you're working hard, right? I'll give you an example. There's these guys at gym, right? I'd like to think I'm a consistent person in the gym. Everybody looks at me like, yo, dude, this guy's consistent by gym. I love how consistent you are and whatnot. Bro, there's a certain 3 guys at gym, right? Every time I go there, I find them there. And I remember I went up to them. I said, bros, don't you guys take a break every time you're here? I'm even asking them, I'm like, but I can see through their results. Well, that's why they look the way they look. Because those guys are consistent, my G. Those guys are consistent. Every time I see them, I feel like I'm not going hard enough. You know what I'm saying? So there's always someone outworking you. So, and success happens at different times for different people. So just because I got it right in 2 years doesn't mean you're gonna get it right in 2 years, right? Maybe you're supposed to get it right in 3. And I can get to a certain point in 2 years, and then you only get to a certain point in 3 years. But from 3 years, you keep going up. Then from that 2 years, I keep going up slowly, but maybe start stagnating, and you just keep on. That's why you don't compare, right? And you don't put a timer on it, but what you do, you always draw inspiration. If you always draw inspiration, you'll never stop, right?
So you don't believe in the disclaimer that there is no guarantee. In this journey of leveling up, there is no guarantee, or you're coming with there is a guarantee you will succeed.
Well, you need to have that conversation with yourself. When I had it with myself, I knew I was gonna succeed. You know why? Because I knew I was willing to put in the work. And listen, bro, I didn't negotiate with myself. I didn't say this thing might happen for me or it might not. I said it's gonna happen. And I went hard to make sure it's gonna happen, right? There's a certain song by Drake, it's Losses, right? There's a line that he says, I couldn't sit around and wait, I had to have it happen. He says, I couldn't sit around and wait. I had to have it happen. He says I had to, not I wanted to have it happen. I had to have it happen, you know? So it was a non-negotiable for me when I was grinding. I was going hard and making sure every day I'm seeing results. That's why even when I speak to my team, I say, yo, you guys don't know the work that we put in. And then sometimes even pull out like our business stats, show them. I say, yo, check the work I was doing back then. And I show them the numbers. And they like, WTF. Because I can't show them when I was working, but the numbers I show them. And that's where they see that, yo, these peeps were really working. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why that thing, there's no guarantee. Remember, right? The story you tell yourself is true. So if I say there's no guarantee, then that's the story I've told myself. But if I say there is a guarantee, as long as I just keep going, you know what I'm saying?
You know that 50 Cent line, get rich or die trying?
Yeah.
You've seen his interview where he talks about it, where he says, I'm either going to get rich or I'm going to die trying. He didn't say I'm going to get rich by 30. He didn't say I'm going to get rich by 40. When did 50 Cent blow? At what age?
I don't know, but he blew.
In his
it doesn't
late
matter.
30s, 40s, right?
He blew.
And now everything he's doing is compounding like crazy. He said, I'm going to get rich or I'm going to die trying, which adapts to it has to work or it has to work. Some people say it's not it has to work by June 16, and then if it doesn't work, I'm going to quit. It has to work or it has to work. So it's like me with my transforming my body, right? People will look at my body and be like, yo, dude, you used to be so skinny. Bro, I've been trying to get jacked since I was 14. I'm 27 now. I've been trying to get jacked since I was 14. So I've been training for like 10 years now. Should be 10 years now, right? My first 7 years, I was doing absolutely nonsense. And I didn't have the right information. I didn't know how the body works. I didn't know what I needed. I was going off of my own, hey man, I'm gonna just go to the gym, hit the gym, and see what happens. Until I seeked mentorship, until I seek guidance. Yo, I'm in the gym. I did this. I remember the first time we linked, actually, it was in Durban. And I spent quite a bit of money to travel to Durban because as the team were traveling, I was like, I don't know much about what's happening, but I'm going to spend this amount just to get close to this guy. This guy is jacked. I'm gonna ask him, dog, how do you get jacked? He told me exactly what I had to do. I tried it, and I told him, I tried this thing that you said. I could only cap it here. Then it was like, okay, because you went and tried what I said. Tweak it like this, tweak it like this, tweak it like this. Then I started seeing my body change and change. But the first 7 years, I was doing absolutely nonsense. I didn't limit myself to be like, if it doesn't work in the first 30 days, then I'm gonna quit. And that's what you get with a lot of people now, microwave results. If I don't get it in 30 days, I'm gonna quit. If I don't get it in 90 days, I'm gonna quit. Nah, G, how do you view yourself? I've always wanted to be jacked. I've always wanted to have, because I believe strong body, strong mind. A man must have physicality. Physicality is the first essence to presence in any room that you walk in. Because I was a very quiet person, I was like, yo, when I walk in, they gotta feel me. How am I gonna do that? I wasn't a person that could speak much, but I said I can build myself to a point where you'll definitely notice me.
Alright, so I have a question, right? People see you, and the other day you posted on your Instagram that I can do whatever I want. No one tells me what to do. I love the business I'm in. In leveling up, do you have to the simple pleasures that people enjoy, like partying, drinking, can I still keep that and just work hard? Or do I have to sacrifice chasing girls? And, I don't know if the question makes sense.
Well, look, it's like this, right? So also this week, I posted a video of Michael B. Jordan and I forgot the other guy's name. So he's a basketball player, right? And in that video, he says, yo, I don't drink, I don't smoke. And people are always asking me like, yo, bro, why are you taking yourself so seriously? Just go drink, just go. And he says, yo, I am having fun. Don't worry. Don't think I'm not having fun. I am fine. I am fine not drinking. I am fine not smoking. Don't worry about me. Worry about you. Because I know where I'm going. I know the reasons why I'm doing this, In life, we're all going to have different goals, right? So it's very important that you know what you're doing and how it works for you. Don't go by what other people are doing, right? And even like Michael B. Jordan, he said, yo, I really go out. I'm always grinding, and I'm spending the first part of my life grinding and setting up the foundation so that later I can take care and live how I want to, right? So me, in terms of partying and all this other stuff, this is how I did the equation. I said, yo, when I go club all the time, how does that help me? I said, none. It takes away. I said, when I drink all the time, how does that help me? None. It takes away. When I wake up, I feel crap. My skin starts going bad. I feel it in my body that it's doing the wrong things. My life deteriorates when I do that. So then why would I want to keep doing more of that if my plan is to level up? So I said, okay, let me take that away, right? Sacrifice. Remember, when you want to level up, when you want to gain, ask yourself, okay, I want the gain. What is the sacrifice? To get something, you got to give up something, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't be holding something in this hand and still want to grab something else. You got to leave this so you can hold that, right? So that was how I did the equation. And then I said, okay, cool. When I work out, does this help me or take away? I said, yo, this takes away nothing. It helps me. I feel good. My mindset feels right. I'm developing routine. I'm developing discipline and whatnot. So I know right now, if my focus is on partying and I'm chasing honeys and blah, 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 it's not adding anything to my life, right? But if I'm at home, I am grinding. If I'm at home, I'm watching podcasts of people that I believe in, people that are doing well, people that inspire me. If I'm at home and I'm reading, if I'm at home, I'm growing my business, I'm developing the skills that I need for my business. What happens then? I am putting in. I am growing as a person. I'm becoming more dangerous. I'm skillful now, right? On the game of life, on the field of life, I've become skillful. Why? Because I'm putting in practice every day. So if me and Mason, we both want the same thing. We want to be at this level with this thing here. But every day I'm working on my mind, I'm working on my body, working on my spiritual, I'm working on myself, I'm working on the actual business and whatnot. And Mason is always out drinking, partying, chasing girls and whatnot. What do you think the results of that are going to be? Who's going to get to the thing quicker? I'm going to get to the thing quicker. Why? Because I am focused on what grows me and what is going to take me there. He's focused on what? Nothing that takes him there. Right? So this thing is simple. Ask yourself that, these things that I'm doing right now, how are they adding in terms of what I want to achieve? And if you're honest with yourself, you're going to see that, they're not adding, they're actually subtracting. Okay, cool. So then start doing the things that are adding in order to achieve, right? So even Drake says in a song, because while I'm out here, it says my best friends are out here partying, I'm just out here making all the music that they party to. But drink on, old night, niggas. He said, keep doing that, carry on doing that. I'm gonna do this. And between them and Drake, who's got the better life? Now he's playing life at that level. Why? Because while I was busy here creating, working on my craft, while you were playing, I was getting better. Now I don't even play at the level you play at. I play here. Because why? I sacrificed. Right? And it's the same way right now. It's like you look at all these tech guys, Silicon Valley and whatnot, right? At the beginning, they were sacrificing every day. They were working on whatever they were working on, blah, 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 blah. Now they what? Now they balling like crazy, right? Maybe the other friends were chilling out there, partying all the time, drinking and whatnot. But now we do things differently. When I go party where? I take out a yacht. I'm in the middle of the ocean. I fly in, all the people aren't flying. You were chasing the honeys. Guess what? Because I'm here, the people you chasing are hollering at me. Hey, yo, what's good, homie? When are we chilling? Because I was working on the right things, right? When you work on yourself and stuff, you don't need to chase nothing. It chases you. It is as simple as that. When you become a person of value, a person of quality, when you grow, things chase you. It's the same way like Mason was speaking earlier on about 50 Cent. Get rich, die trying. He kept on grinding and growing. And now what? Success is actually chasing him now. Right? Now the money just keeps coming to you. Now you turning down money. Actually, I can't do this. I don't have enough time. I'm already doing this. This doesn't align with my brand. I don't want that money. But at the beginning, you need to be putting in and sacrificing. Eventually, you're even turning these things down. So there always has to be a sacrifice, right? Like Drake says, there's another line. He says, I can't party and pursue this, right? That doesn't link, my brother. Doesn't link. I have to focus on this one thing completely and get it right, and then I'll party later, right? And then people always have that thing of but just enjoy your life. Life is not always guaranteed. What if you die tomorrow and whatnot? I'm like, if I die, I want life to catch me while I'm trying to build it. Right? Rather it catches me while I'm building myself, while I'm trying to chase my goals, while I'm achieving and whatnot. Because guess what? What if I don't die tomorrow and I live till 120? So I'm gonna live 120 broke. I'm gonna live 120 drunk out of my mind. I'm gonna live till 120 drugged out. I'm gonna live 120 never having reached my goals, can't take care of my people. It's fine. If I die tomorrow, when I die, you guys are gonna say, that nigga died, but he was on his way. He was on his way. That nigga was grinding. That nigga was focused. You're not going to say, that nigga died, but hey, man, we always knew he was going to die because that nigga was living crazy, low quality life.
He died with a purpose.
This one died with a purpose. That other one day we knew he was going to die because he was just doing nonsense. Lifestyle was that, And that's like real. That's that real, you know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest thing is just energy, bro. In order for you to achieve your goals, you need maximum energy. So if your energy is split, how are you gonna have to feed the flame? They always say feed the flame, right? So if you're split in two parts, you're feeding one flame slightly more. Maybe if you go out partying, you're staying up later than you would resting, so that you can wake up feeling refreshed and actually feeding this flame of the things that you want. So having that whole, I think that's like living a very split life. I think you have to fully immerse yourself in whatever it is that you're trying to achieve for it to really grow to the capacity that you imagine in your head. Because you can get it started, but to get it to where you want it to be, I think you need to be fully immersed. So the whole thing of, can I still keep a certain lifestyle? I don't think it really is possible. Like, I've tried it personally. There was a time we had a business event the following day and I was partying till like 3 a.m. And the month before, I slept early. I was fully prepared. My mind was even prepared for that event. And it was a killer event. When I tried to party, I was like, no, I'll wake up early. I'll just sleep 2 hours Ended up waking up and I was called out, like, yo, you fell off. That was a big shocker to me because I thought, no, I could live this double life. I can still go out and do these things and they still show up as like kind of like my best self. But that was not the case. So I say, like, from personal experience, don't try and live that whole split life thing. Fully immerse yourself in what you're trying to do to see the maximum outcome and maximum results.
Right. So it's the same as this, right? If me and Mason are going to run a marathon right now, right? On the marathon, I'm just running straight. Only thing I'm doing is just running. End goal, end goal, end goal, end goal. Got to get there in the time you're speaking about. I got to get there in a short time. And then Mason, along the way, he's greeting people. Hey, what's up, bros? Because he's allowed to. He can stop, they greet, have conversations, blah, blah, run. Stop, chill, stretch, rub his legs, sit, rest, breathe, and all along the way he can do that stuff. But who's going to finish the race first? I'm going to finish the race first. We're not running the same race. We were, right? We're running the same route, right? What is the difference? His attention was split. His attention was divided. I only had attention on one thing, running and finishing. He had attention on what? I need to greet the people. I need to stretch. I need to sit. Oh, let me look at the sun. What's the temperature? Dad, what's Dad crawling on the floor? You know what I'm saying?
And you both started at the same time. Ready, set, go. And you both started at the same time.
We all started at the same time, but the difference along our journeys is that I'm just constantly chasing this thing. What are you doing? You're also partying, you're drinking, you're chasing honeys, you blah blah, right? And I'm not saying you can't do those things and get there. I mean, if you can do them and get there, but the time is going to be different. But there's also a good chance that if you're doing those things, they're slowing you down. And if they slow you down enough, sometimes they can kill you. You might actually never get there, right? Because the focus is never there. And remember, there's a time period for things, right? You only have a certain amount of time. So you gotta, while you're playing, you got 90 minutes. So why would you want to, while you're playing this 90 minutes, why would you want to spend on other stuff instead of just scoring goals? So at the end of 90 minutes, you know what I'm saying? And also, with that stuff, you need to see what your vices are, right? So now you start going deeper, like, okay, cool. Let's say I'm trying to achieve this thing, but I also do like having like fun. I do like blah, blah, blah. So it's fine, okay, cool, you're a human. Maybe do it once in a while, right? I don't say I don't party at all, but every time I show up, people are surprised, like, oh, damn, you here, because you never here, right? So it's not that I don't do it. I hardly do it, right? And also it's like, I don't got time to chase honeys, bro. I don't have time to chase honeys. If I'm chasing honeys, I'm not chasing my business. I'm not chasing my goals, right? And whatever you're chasing, most of the time is running away from you, right? But if I'm just chasing my goals and I'm just doing what I'm going to do, the honeys of quality are going to say, oh, yo, you focused. I'm a quality person too. I'm also focused. Maybe you and I can interact because I like how you think. I also think the same way you do, right? But if you're just messing up, effing up your life around, blah, 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 the girls you're chasing, do you think they actually want you to catch them? No, nigga, leave them alone. You ain't focused, busy chasing all of us here, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not conducive. It doesn't make sense in terms of like trying to achieve your goals and like that type of vibes.
Yeah. I like what you said about you can still achieve it doing all these other things, but it'll take longer. And here's the thing. What if you achieve it after your parents are here? Your mom is not here to see you. Actually, you can buy the mom the house. Toomey did because he was focused. And Mason might still finish that race, but his mom wasn't here to see it and all these other things. I want to debunk some beliefs that people have because they hear stories like Blueface, right? Blueface story was he went to the studio for the first time and he accidentally was just behind the mic, and that was when he came out with Drop Down Tatiana, or his hit song, right? So Jay-Z's days, he had to sell CDs, he had to work hard. Like you and Junior say that what we had to do back then, you guys are not doing it now. So a lot of people believe that it's easier to be successful now. So they're like, to me, why so much intensity? Why do we gotta separate everybody? Why do we gotta cut our friends off? Because Blueface just got in the studio, made a hit song. Do you feel like it's easier to be successful now? Or do you believe that that's some bullshit?
Well, listen, like I say, right? It's like, number one, doesn't matter. You want to be successful, right? Doesn't matter. Is it easier now? Was it harder back then? Doesn't matter. Why? Because I say play the cards you dealt. You playing the cards that are dealt with now. So it shouldn't even be a question. But to answer the question, it's much easier to become a millionaire now than it was back then.
So why are you preaching so much intensity to these guys? Like,
because also now, remember, right, the money you're also trying to get, other people are trying to get. Because it's easier for you doesn't mean it's not easier for the other person too. We're all trying to get to this money, my brother. It's a competition out here, right? I'm not saying it was being a competition with people, but it is. It's a competition. We're all trying to get to the money. Apple and Samsung, it's a competition. They're fighting for the same customers, right? So do you think any of them are taking the foot off the brakes? No. They understand that I'm at war with the other man, right? At the end of the day, the guap we're all trying to get, someone else is also trying to get it. So when you sleep, the other person goes for it too, right? So you need to be aware of that. And you need to play intensity. Because when you slack, the next person comes, right? They say the wolf climbing the hill is hungrier than the wolf at the top. The problem with being at the top, you get complacent. You think you're going to be there forever. Or you think you're not going to be challenged. Or you think there's not a person that's trying to take your spot. Yo, there's always a person trying to take your spot. But if you play your game, you run your lane, and you never stop playing your game, no one's going to take your spot. It's fine. People will join you. Oh, welcome to the top. Hi, what's up? We're here together. But I'm playing my game. I'm not going to move from here. It's fine. We can all be here together, right? They don't say you can't get to the top. They say it's lonely. There's less of us at the top, right? It's crowded at the bottom. They don't say that at the top there's not more than 1, 2, 3, 4. They say it's lonely. There ain't many of us at the top. Why? Because there ain't many of us that are prepared to do what you have to do to climb, right? But it's easy to be at the bottom. It's easy. It's easy to do nothing. It's easy to give up. It's easy to quit. It's easy to go partying. How easy it is to go partying. How easy is it to chase chicks? It's easy to chase your goals. It's not easy to chase your goals, my brother. Every day you're waking up, you're chasing this thing. But to chase a chick every day, do the work that's hard. When you do the work that's hard, life will be easy. When you do the work that's easy, life's going to be hard. Simple as that.
What's the hardest thing you have to sacrifice?
Damn. Bro, I think this thing, it's everything linked together, right? But one of the hardest things I know when I decided, I'm going to do this, I sacrificed the relationship. Because I just felt like, I have to fully put myself in this thing, right? Because I knew that I wanted to do it in a certain amount of time. So I want to be able to give myself completely to this thing and not have something else I'm also have to focus on and whatnot, right? So I sacrificed the relationship. That was one of the things. And then the other thing is friends and partying and stuff. Because that stuff is nice, yo. It's so nice to party. It's so nice to chill with friends, to hang. Yo, my G, where you at? Yeah, let's hang. That stuff is dope, bro. Partying is so nice. But I sacrificed that. I sacrificed it all as a collective. I didn't sacrifice one thing. I said relationship, friends, partying, chasing honeys, smoking weed, all the stuff that was slowing me down, I sacrificed, right? And I added the things that were gonna help me speed up. So it's a combination. It's like people ask, same with working out. They're like, yo, what's the most I say, yo, everything. The nutrition, your products, your protein shakes, the working out, the consistency. I say it's one vehicle. It's like saying, yo, I want to drive to Pretoria. What do you think, which part of the car do you think I can remove and still get there? Can I remove one tire? No, your car won't get there. Okay, cool. Can I remove the water pump? No, your car's going to overheat. Can I remove the petrol tank? No, your car won't have any fuel. Can I remove the radiator? Your car's going to overheat. Can I remove the axle? Your car's going to break down. Can I remove the steering wheel? How are you going to turn? Can I remove the gear? how you're gonna get into different gears, how you're gonna change speed. Yo, you need the whole component. That's the problem, is people just want to sacrifice here. Okay, I'm just gonna, but I'm still gonna. Okay, well, guess what? Your goals are also just gonna, but still deny you. That's that real.
For me, the hardest thing to sacrifice was friends. Because it was like you're with these, you spend so much time with them, even growing up, you become accustomed to having them around you. For me, I had to create an environment where I was just feeding my mind where I wanted to go. Because part of the doubt that came from joining the business that I'm in right now was the friends aspect of it. So I was like, I need to just isolate myself, work on myself to a point where even if a year from now, 2 years from now, I come around them, it doesn't shake me. Whatever comment they might have, it doesn't shake me. So it's crazy. I bumped into this one girl and she's like, yo, what happened to, you don't chill with them anymore? Yeah, you're grown now. I said, no, it's not that. We just want different things. So when I came to that point of sacrificing my friends, it wasn't a thing of they're bad, this, that. No, we just wanted different things. And I understood that I need to create an environment that feeds into what I really want to achieve. So even with the friends I have now, it's all feeding into what I want to achieve. When we have conversations, it's feeding into what I want to achieve. It's not, but you need to stop this thing and come jump on what I'm doing. You need to, there's no longevity in what you're doing. It's all, you said you wanted this, how far? You said you're going here. Did you start? So that was my biggest sacrifice, the friends, to create an environment for myself to grow personally and grow in my personal belief. Because even back then, I had different friend groups, so you're always in different people's frame and not really in your own frame. So when I learned to be by myself, sacrificing the being around people, I became comfortable being by myself. And that's when now, like, I started seeing big changes in my life. I was like, oh, okay, I can make decisions. I don't have to worry about the group. I make a decision. And this decision is to help me go from point A to point B, not to go from point A to D, then B. Right? It was from A, B. So yeah, that was my biggest sacrifice.
Yeah. Friends one. The friends one and your partner. The friends one and your partner, bro.
Yo, that part of the story made me remember Kevin Hart told this story one time where there was a comedian watching another comedian stand up on Netflix.
Yeah.
This girl was beside him on the couch. And this girl was like, isn't that so and so? Didn't you guys come up at the same time? You were doing comedy clubs and stuff. Why is he there and you not? And he replied, because I'm here with you.
Yeah. That's real.
Because I'm here with you, spending all this time with you, and he was a single guy going full head on.
That's real, bro. And that's like why with relationships, like, you have to have like the right person in your corner. The right person when you're grinding is gonna say, yeah, baby, keep on. Don't you think you should also implement to get you? Also, blah blah, she'll add. Or always adds on to what you're doing. Because she understands where you go, you're going with her, we're going together. Have the wrong person, you're spending too much time on this, but how come you don't pay attention? I'm like, yo, because I want to like give you a better life. I want one day when we have a family, we're good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like the relationship one, in terms of the level up, that thing is so important. You know what I'm saying? That's why even with me, like, I don't wake up our relationship. No. I understand that when you're gonna level up, the most important thing is your purpose. I said, I'll meet the right person on the way. They'll find me where I'm at, but it has to be the right person, or else it's gonna take away from my purpose. The same way I would never want to take away from my person's purpose. I don't want my person to be with me and say, yo, ever since I've been with you, it's like my dream has died. It's like, now I don't have the same hunger towards my goals anymore and whatnot. You always have to add to your person, right? And that's why they even say it's so important being a unit alone. Be happy alone. So that when you're with the person, you don't try to find happiness in them and take away from them. You only add. If you find me happy and you also happy, when we together, what are we bringing to the table? We're bringing happiness. If I'm not content when I'm alone, if I'm not happy when I'm alone, what am I bringing? I'm bringing not being content, not being happy. You also bring what? Not content, not being happy. And you're trying to find happiness in me. What are you going to find? You're going to find no happiness. I'm also trying to find happiness in you, but you're already not happy. What am I going to find? No happiness. And then what's the table full of? Problems, not being happy, a lack and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we both have to add to this thing. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the level up, like, that's so important. Like friends, the relationships, the company you keep, right? Yeah.
Right. Growing up, if I know I'm doing better than people, I'll dim how good I'm doing. I'll dim my lights to make other people feel comfortable, right? One of the things I like about you guys is it's like you don't dim your light in any room that you go into. Urban light is a thing where you find someone who has a better body than you and they're not ashamed of it. They don't feel like they need to dim their light. And my sister said to me one time, she was like, don't shrink yourself in caterpillar stage before you get to butterfly. Because you might not see these people in a few years, and someone in Thailand, for example, will need you to present the best version of yourself because they need to elevate. So it's like, it's not humble, it's not humility to say, oh, I want other people to feel comfortable. So
You know what's the sad part?
Yeah.
I still do that to this day.
You do it.
I still do it.
Word?
I still do it. I am not the best version of myself right now. I'll always play above 70, 75, but the best version of me is 100. And the reason I haven't reached 100 is because I still dim my light. I still get around people and try to make them feel comfortable. I still sit with certain people and I try not to shine too much. I still hold back on certain opinions because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I still don't go as hard as I could in life. But sometimes I get scared of how good I'm going to be. I feel like, I'm going to be too much. And when you read too much, it's going to bring more hate. More people are going to be mad at my success. More people are not going to like me. Bro,
I don't want to be a target.
I don't want to be a target. Bro, there's one of the biggest things that held me back was the fact I don't want to shine too much. People are like, yo, you shining. I'm like, you think I'm shining? You have no idea how much I've held back, right?
Even your mom could call you sometimes. Don't post that. Don't say you're doing well. You become a target. People will follow you.
Bro, like, even just in terms of like life goals and whatnot, bro, like there's so much I've held back just because I don't want to feel like I'm too much around people. Even sometimes, that's why even with friends, bro, you can sit at a table and you still try not shine too much because then you start being an outsider. Envy starts growing, right? That's why I've gotten to a point in my life where I say, I don't want to be around friends. I want to be around brothers.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like the friends thing. It's too wishy-washy. Friends, a lot of friends envy, bro. Friends and stuff, those are the ones that will kill you, bro. Friends will kill you. That's why when you're growing up, your grandmother, people older than you, they said be careful of friends. Friends will kill you. Friends will get you into trouble and whatnot. I got to a point in my life. When did I make that decision? Like probably like at the end of last year or something. And I was also watching this other interview of, what's his name? I forgot. The guy that owns like those car dealerships and whatnot in the UK. What's his name? That Dan gentleman. He's in Dubai now. I once posted him on.
I see which guy you're talking
Yeah. And bro, he was speaking about, he's like, yo, I don't have no friends. I got my brothers. Because let me tell you, if I have to trust you. If I feel like you could kill me in my house or you could plant you to do some shit, I don't want you in my crib. So I can't have friends. Only my brothers will keep me tact. So I have to hold you to the level of my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I've done the friends thing and it's just too wishy-washy. Yo, did you hear? Well, you know you'll have friends who'll be chilling somehow. Yo, did you hear Mang said this about you? Why? Like, what? I thought that's my friend. And then you realize that, yo, this friends thing is garbage. That's why, bro, you hear rappers rapping about it. You hear successful people speaking about friends. You hear your grandmother speaking about friends. That thing is nonsense. I said in my life, I've got acquaintances, I've got my brothers, I've got my sisters. and then I've got my real family, right? And that's why it's so important to do personal development every day, because if you don't, bro, I can tell you right now, a lot of people that are great, you're looking at them thinking they're great, you have no idea how much they still hold back.
Right.
Just because they don't want to shine too much. They don't want to hurt people's feelings. They don't want to offend people. They don't want to seem like they're the bad guy. They don't want to say this because now they're going to seem like you're going to... So...
Is there a reason why Jay-Z doesn't wear chains anymore? You know?
Well,
Is it to dim his light because he's gotten to a level where he has to now be humble? Or people will say,
you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's like... Well, you know what? I don't want to answer for Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I don't want to answer for Jay-Z too much, but I'm going to just say this, right? Sometimes it's the image thing. Like, if Jay-Z sits right now with billionaires, right? He sits, it could be the same guy, sits in a suit and stuff, no chains and whatnot. There's a certain level they look at him. Put chains on. He's rocking chains. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that life is like that. That's why there comes a point in life where you have to stop giving a F. You have to stop giving a F. Alright? Because when you give a F, bro, you hold back on so much, you limit yourself. And people want you to be limited. That's why I've got like a high admiration for people that don't give a F. I like people that come in their true form. Even if they're offensive sometimes, I still like them. I'm like, yo, you know what? I like you because like you don't hold back, you keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Someone that keeps it 100 with me, I can respect. Someone just comes to me, you know what? I don't like you for ABC. I don't like you, I feel like you go too hard. I don't like you because blah, blah. I can respect that. Yo, at least you're honest with me. The person I can't respect is someone that sits here, acts like they like me. And then I catch them out, like through like certain things they say, certain actions and whatnot. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is the leveling up, does it have to be private? It can't be public?
No, bro. No, I told you, right? So let me tell you, it's chess, this thing. There comes a point where you have to stop giving an F, but you have to play chess. Sometimes you got to move like this, sometimes you got to move like that. That's why it's about growth. As you grow, you realize, okay, maybe I should do this, maybe I shouldn't do that. And you always play the pros and cons. There's always a pros and cons to everything. If I do this, it's going to come with this. If I do that, it's going to come with this. You have to be able to discern and decide, okay, this is going to help me get further, this might not. Right? But you should never dim your light. In general, if a little kid comes on me, should I dim my light? I say, no, never dim your light. If what they think, don't dim your light. Right? But as you grow, you're going to realize that, yo, sometimes you need to move a bit smarter because you live in a bad world, bro. You live in a world that's got evil people. Right? So you can't go out there. I'm not going to dim my light and act like they're not there. Right? You can't just walk around saying to me, I'm going to walk around in my rollie. If I'm not dim my light, I got my rollies and what's going to happen? They're going to rob you, but I get killed. It didn't help that you weren't trying to dim your light. So you have to be smart about it. You need to use your own common sense and knowledge. Okay, you know what? Like, I got these rollies and stuff. I can't dim my light, but unfortunately, if I just like walk around Santon with them, I will get robbed. So let me be a bit smarter. It's fine.
Facts.
Let me rock the Seeker Mode watch, and then I'll rock this rollie when I'm out in Dubai. That's when I'll give it to them. It's normal, you know what I'm saying?
How will you just maintain your confidence and your belief in yourself, self-esteem, where you don't compare your light to his?
I'm willing to go through my process, bro. Processes are different, right? So when I look at him, I remember back then, 2021, I told him, I said, dog, you fell off. You're not as hard as what you used to be. And it came from a place of, I used to respect the body that you had because it was too done. That's where I'm trying to be at. But right now you fell off. And even when he can look at me and be like, boy, here, this is not the one, this is not the one. It's not nice to hear it in that moment, but I can take it and be like, yo, this person sees the best for me. So I can never try to dim my light for him or feel like he has to dim his light for me. The harder he goes, I say, boy, keep going. You're gassing me right now. Then I look at myself and I'm like, am I playing? I think I'm playing. I need to get on because my boy is going. Bro, inspiration more than hate. I think hate is a very like enrooted thing in someone. So you can see someone going hard and you start thinking, like, you look at them with sick face, like, why is he going that hard? But now I'd sit and be like, yo, keep going. Let's see how far you can take it. Because I want the next person to look at me and be like, keep going. Let's see how far you can actually take this thing. Let's see the Mason in the next 3 years, 5 years. And the biggest thing is I'm willing to make my mistakes. I'm not afraid to make my mistakes. Some of them, yes, they're hard, but I'm willing to take it and learn and grow from it, because the next generation that comes, tell me, yo, should I dim my light? Nah. I took an L in this part. Don't let this dim your light, because there is a way out of it. As long as you just keep going. There will be people that come to you and try to dim your light. Bro, why are you so full of yourself? Nah, bro, I love myself.
Give them the middle finger, bro.
Who do you think you are? A king. Yeah.
Exactly, right? And I used to have that thing of like, where people would be like, yo, who do you think you are? I'd be like, ish, let me just mize it a bit. I've always been a fresh guy. Like, being clean, being fresh was always my thing. But now, I'd always be like, ish, I don't wanna rock these kicks around these people because maybe I don't wanna. But then until you start living fully within you and you're like, yo, I gotta shine for the next person. So I'll even get messages where like, some people throw hate. Then there's that one kid. They'll be like, bro, you inspire me right now.
And that's who you go hard for.
Exactly. Because we were all once that kid at some point. You saw someone going hard and be like, yo, me one day, I'm gonna be that nigga going hard.
Bro, that hate and envy stuff has never made sense. You've got a bag. Instead of filling this bag with like inspiration and rags and motivation, you fill it up with envy and hate. And I'm like, what? When you're doing well, Toby, if tomorrow you pull up in a Lambo, what does that take away from me?
Nothing.
Bro, if you pull up in a Lambo tomorrow, I'll be like, oh, nigga, what? I'm gonna say, damn, bro, you going hard. Bro, my mind is not even gonna go, people's mind goes to, oh, what did he do to get? My mind's not even gonna go there. I'm like, yo, G, you going hard. And then later on, I'm like, yo, dog, what you doing? And you say, oh, I'm doing this. I say, all right, cool, now shout out. And I'm gonna leave it there, bro. It's not gonna wreck my head the whole night, like my word. Toby Lambert. Bro, I don't understand people that envy and hate. But I believe that's why a lot of people stay where they are. Because of the envy and hate. And you know why people envy and hate, bro? It's because they don't see it for themselves.
Wow.
They don't see it for themselves. It's like right now, bro. The reason I can't, like when I see people doing well, bro, even people doing better than me, right? The reason I can't envy and hate them is because I see it for myself. You like, right now you come to me, oh, check, I got 200 mil in my account. I'm gonna say, damn, G, you going in. Do you know why I'm gonna feel like that? Because I know I'm gonna have more. But the second I feel like, I'll never have that, it might gut me. That envy is building up now. It's building up now. Now that hate, every time I see you shining, it just grows. It just grows. Yo, Mason, this guy thinks he's too much, huh? Do you think that 200 mils? Instead of me doing what? Yo, bro, this guy goes in, yeah? Aight, dog. Nah, let's go grind, bro. Let's work on our stuff. And let's keep building, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Final question. I asked Mason this last time. This is called the Theory Podcast. If you had one theory that you want to push out there in the world, what is it?
If I've got one theory.
What do you live and die by?
Your philosophy.
Let me tell you, bro. I live and die by, you need to live life by principles. You need to live life by law. You need to live life by certain rules, right? If you live by principles, certain rules, bro, it's like, right, the reason why we can all drive on the roads and 90% of the time there's no accidents is because why? We're following the rules, the guides. Go here, turn left here. Oh, stop, green robot. Oh. Imagine now we all hitting intersections with no stop signs, no robots and whatnot. What's gonna happen? We're all just crashing into each other. But now if you live life by certain rules, like 48 laws of power, Sun Tzu, the art of war, by those principles and whatnot, that's how you win battles. You need to live life by strategy. That's what I believe. One thing, like, bro, Every night I sit, I strategize, certain rules I live by and whatnot, right? And those things also keep you out of trouble. Someone says, why don't you now? I don't do that. Because when you look at me like I'm seamless with my movement, it's like, I can imagine looking outside, it's seamless. I go through life without too much friction and whatnot. You know why I don't have friction? Because I don't do dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I was going out every day, bro, I'd be crashing my car outside of clubs. I'd be getting into trouble, maybe get into fights, who knows, get into shootouts. If I was like taking drugs, I'd be effing out. Now I'm in rehab. I'm in blah, blah. You know, if I was just moving wild, like, there'd be like so much like wildness and whatnot. But because I live by rules, yo, Tumi, let's go. I don't do that. Why? Nah, it's not for me. It's not part of my laws.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, Tumi, let's go. Nah. Why? Because I got principles. In life, you need to learn to say no. Once you can learn how to say no, let's go to this party. No. Let's go link up with Bo. No. The gents are chilling here. No. Yo, Tumi, can I come see you? No. Yo, boy, let's link up. No. Bro, you stay home, bro. You know, brother, let me tell you. You know how much trouble you stay out of when you stay home. Stay home. How many times have you got into trouble and things? You're like, if I had just stayed home. So I live life by those rules and whatnot. When you live like that, bro, your movement is seamless. That's why right now, even if you can watch like traffic in China, the way it moves, everything's like, but the cars are close together, but it's like effortless and seamless. Cause bro, they follow the rules to the T, right? So it looks seamless. If you look at taxi drivers driving, it's not seamless. It's because they don't
have dents.
But yeah, the cars always have dents. Why? Because they move like this. So they always want collision, friction. You know what I'm saying? But now if you always chill, then stop, robot. You know what I'm saying? Seamless.
What I got out of that is, yo, to me, how'd you get to press team principles?
Principles, bro. The laws of the business. Learn the laws of the business to get to presence team. Learn the principles of the business to get to presence team. It says, yo, every month, don't do below this certain volume. Do that. If you don't do that, you know you're not following principle. Every month, your team needs to look like this or blah, blah, principles. You always need to show up, blah, 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 principles.
Alright guys, so that was the podcast, the theory podcast, basically speaking about the fundamentals of leveling up. I hope you guys got extreme value from this and you learned, you know, the key things that might affect you, and maybe you got that one thing that really changes your trajectory in the next year. And I want to say shout out to Tumi for being on the podcast with us, giving you guys insight. And yeah, let's make the rest of 2023 the best of 23. Let's go.
Fire me up. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Shout out, mate. That's a wrap.